Salutations, my friends, I'm TheMightyMander, and hey, I'm alive! I blew up the world, but here I am. I had to move again because my last house kind of, blew up, and suffering some minor radiation sickness, and I'm still looking for a third arm that I'm convinced I'm growing somewhere, but we move onward today to paradise. Now, I've often sung the praises of the Burnout series, both on my channel and in everyday life. Hey, yo, man, you ever play Burnout?
Bro, I don't know who you are. I don't care what you're talking about. I don't care about anything you have to say. None of that matters. You're in my house right now. You need to leave, and this is too crazy. Don't talk to me again, bro.
Wow. To anyone who'll listen, anyway. But Burnout has always been one of my absolute favorite racing game franchises, but it doesn't really seem to be around anymore. So, quick sidebar, and you're just gonna have to trust me on this. I scripted and recorded everything in this video before the Paradise Remaster was announced, let alone released. So I know that's a thing, and it kind of changes the context of the message of this video a little bit, not really all that much, but, my bad. So today we're gonna take a look at the last major release in the franchise, Burnout Paradise, and we're gonna ask ourselves, did this balls-to-the-wall arcade racer go out with a bang, or a whimper? Well, let's find out. Yeah, no, I'm not going to use that song. I've already got enough standing in my way of making money on YouTube. I'm not going to add pissing off Axl Rose. That dude can probably kill me with his mind from whatever cave he's living in on the other side of the world right now. Burnout Paradise was released in 2008 for the PS3 and the Xbox 360, and in 2009 for PC. For the purposes of this video, I'll be playing the game on Xbox One via backwards compatibility because I bought the game digitally on the Xbox 360 a while back. Now, originally, I had a bit planned where I was going to use the case for another game. I was going to use the Sonic 06 case and just print out the box art for Burnout Paradise and put it in there since I don't have a Burnout Paradise case. But I'm at college, so I couldn't print it out. It was going to have to be in black and white, and I left the Sonic 06 case at home when I moved back here. And I was originally going to do something with one of these, but one of these games, but we're just going to scrap that whole bit. Anyways, Criterion Games creative director Alex Ward said when this game was about to come out that it would be a total reinvention of the Burnout franchise. Was this true? Well, yes and no. Let's take a look. The big, obvious, glaring difference between Paradise and previous games in the series is the eponymous Paradise City. Paradise City is the open world the game takes place in. No longer is the game a globe-trotting adventure full of different environments and conveniently formed circuit tracks in the middle of cities and mountain passes. Now it's all conglomerated into an urban playground that combines locales from previous games and sort of threads them together into one big map. So in that respect, yes, it really does reinvent the wheel when it comes to Burnout. Does it work though? Burnout Paradise has a lot going for it. After all, this game was released to widespread critical acclaim across all sorts of review outlets, with 8s and 9s pretty much across the board, praising the car design, the layout of the open world, and the overall presentation, but maintaining that the major formula change wasn't totally perfect. Obviously, because this is an arcade racing game, there's really no story here. You arrive as the new guy in Paradise City, receive your rookie driver's license, get yourself a starter car, and you're in. All of this intro context, all your tutorials, and the flavor dialogue is provided by Crash FM DJ Atomica.
Ready for some rough stuff? Hit that takedown target.
And thank God there's a way to turn this guy off for most of the time. You can't turn off his race intros and outros, but he'd be chiming in every 30 seconds in gameplay if I didn't shut him up. You're fine, you're doing your job, adding flavor, and don't take this the wrong way, but get out of my life, please, and thank you. I don't need your quippy ass whenever I lose an event. I already feel enough shame in my heart, DJ Atomica, thank you very much. We'll get to the gameplay shortly, but the presentation of this game is without a doubt one of its greatest assets. Regardless of how you feel personally about Burnout making the transition from closed circuits to an open world, it blends the game mechanics with the world itself pretty seamlessly. And the game just looks nice. It's all presented in a very nice way. The cars are all fantastic to behold, and if you catch the environment at the right angle, it can be pretty spectacular. You can set the time of day in this game, and my suggestion, lock it at sunset. Midday and sunrise are fine, but driving at night is a pain in the ass, and sunset over Silver Lake is pretty marvelous. It's the same story with the sound design. The cars all sound meaty and tough, and they all sound pretty much how you would expect them to based on the way they look. That's a tricky thing to get right in a racing game, and while Burnout has always done pretty well with this, Paradise is just nice. All the cars are just punchy and loud and aggressive, and all the gear changes are all just so satisfying. The boosting sounds like a jet engine, the crashes are crunchy and visceral, it all just sounds great. It contributes to this game's overall flavor, which is there in spades. Take the garage, for example. In any other game, you might just think it would be, well, a garage, GTA style. But here, they're all junkyards. When you select a car, bam, it drops in front of you like a junkyard wreck. There's a healthy selection of cars in this game of all different shapes and sizes and shitty paint jobs. Each car basically comes with a mini Top Gear review, and they're not even cringeworthy. Some are actually really funny, like this one for the Inferno van, one of the heaviest hitters in the game. Handles like a tank, hits like a tank. Basically, it is a tank. It just looks like a van. I know when I say it out loud, it's not that funny, but shit, man, that's funny. It adds more flavor. It's the flavor of Paradise City. Burnout Flavortown. Compared to something like Burnout 3, in which the cars were sorted into categories like muscle, sport, and supercars, or Revenge, where they weren't really sorted at all, this game sorts them into boost types, each of which behaves slightly differently. Stunt cars are quick and agile and have a standard boost bar that can be filled up and used however much you want at any given time. Aggression cars have the chunked boost bar seen in Burnout 3 and Revenge that grows when you get takedowns and are generally heavier and more suited for smashing into stuff. And speed cars throw back all the way to the OG Burnout games when you couldn't boost until your meter was full and had to juice that shit all the way down, and you can get an instant refill if you did enough near missing and drifting and jumping, meaning you could get 3, 4, 5 consecutive burnouts in a row. Speed cars stick to the road like glue and are pretty hard to control, but very, very fun to drive. Most of my favorite cars in the game are speed cars. There's about 70 cars that you can unlock throughout the game, and you unlock them in a couple different ways. You get a specific car every time you level up your license, but at specific intervals, once you complete some events, you're notified that a new car will be driving around Paradise City and you've got to take it down in order to unlock it. And the third way is by completing the time trial run for each car that you unlock normally, which gives you a special upgraded version of that car. Usually it's a racing variant with a cool livery, or a version with a grotesque paint job of some kind of animal like a snake or a tiger or a scorpion or a hedgehog or some shit. Nah, I made that last one up. Sadly, there is no Sonic car in the game. Hi, is this Electronic Arts customer support? Yeah, I'd like to call and request to see if there's any future DLC planned for a game of yours called Burnout Paradise. Yes, it came out around 10 years ago, that's right. Hey, listen, I'd like to submit a request for a Sonic the Hedgehog car pack. Please, yeah, I got some ideas too. I think you're gonna like this. You ever see the Rickmobile? That Rick and Morty car is just a big old face with wheels? Yeah, that, but Sonic. Whole crew, too. We're gonna have Amy, Tails, Knuckles, Chaotix, Shadow the Hedgehog. Can you make it happen? Yeah, I'll hold. No problem. But, hello? Hello? Oh, son of a... However, the variety of different cars is nothing without a diverse set of events to go along with it, and for the most part, Paradise delivers. You've got a fair amount of standard races, which, in a bit of a twist to go along with the open map, you can take any route to get to the finish line. The finish can be in any one of 8 different landmark locations around the city, all generally in one of 8 compass directions. It's all pretty well organized. Road Rage also makes a return, the mode where you have to smash as many rivals off the road as possible within a time limit, and this is still, unsurprisingly, one of the best event types in the entire game. It is just pure juvenile fun to smash other racers with a very, very heavy car. There's also a couple new event types, starting with the Marked Man events. These are pretty simple. You are the Marked Man, and you have to get to your destination while a bunch of very heavy cars are trying to smash the absolute shit out of you. Aggression type cars are obviously the best bet for surviving these Marked Man runs, but I think it's fun to do these events with the most fragile speed cars in the game and basically make a do-it-yourself hard mode. These events are a lot of fun. It makes me wonder what it would have been like if the older games made this sort of reverse road rage events a thing, where it was like a normal race, but the opponents were super aggressive. And the other new event is Stunt Run, and I'm gonna be upfront, I hate stunt runs. In concept, fine. String stunts together to reach the target score before time runs out. Stunts include big airtime, barrel rolls, smashing billboards, finding stunt jumps, and flat spins. And maybe I just suck ass at this, but it seems to me that these stunt runs rely heavily on your knowledge of the map rather than your mastery of the controls. Obviously, the small amounts are easy, your 10,000s and your 50,000s, but once you get above 100, you have to string your way through the city, hitting every jump and billboard you can possibly remember without crashing until you've racked up a serious multiplier to have any hope of winning. Like I said, this is a personal gripe. I suck ass. Rant over. Moving on. I hate stunt runs. Oh, and one more thing. There's power parking in this game. Find some parked cars, whip your car in between the two of them, and you get a percentage score. Every game needs power parking. I can do this for hours. In fact, I think I have. The map itself is about as well designed as you can get when it comes to a game like this. You can tell that a lot of effort went into designing the layout and all the shortcuts and jumps, and similar to how some of the cars are based on designs that have been around since Burnout 2, a detail which I love by the way, it uses locations that have been around since those games as well. There are dozens of cool spots to find hidden around the game, like a quarry in the mountains that's perfect for stunts, and a dirt circuit hidden in the hills, and let me tell you, something about a road rage event in a big-ass van on a dirt racing track smashing up cars just feels right in a way that a Burnout game should. Like I said, this game has a lot of strengths, but it isn't perfect. The driving is a hell of a lot of fun, and for an open world, the map is great, but I'm personally still not all that hot on the idea of a Burnout game in an open world to start with. The extremely fast pace doesn't mix with the narrow grid-like streets in the more urban areas of the map. It's really hard to see turns coming in this game. I never thought I'd miss those bright yellow chevrons that you could use as walls to grind around turns. And now, if you guys will hear me out, we're going to do something a little bit different. We're going to take a look at how this game fits into the grander scheme of EA and its sort of history with big arcade racing game franchises. Because from what I can see, this is a very, very important game in not one, but two very important game franchises. You want to know why I think the Burnout franchise ended with Paradise? Imagine you're an EA executive. You've been seeing the sales numbers for two of your racing franchises and they're both moderately successful. You tell the guys over at Criterion to try something a little different with their next Burnout game, and it releases to critical acclaim and decent sales. Your other one, Need for Speed, has just come out with Undercover, which wasn't as well received or successful, but has the legacy of the Need for Speed name on its side. So you decide to rethink both. Take a step back and figure out your next move to maximize profit, because that's what you do because you're an EA executive, you maximize profit. You say, we have Burnout, with a studio behind it that really knows how to make these games, but with a dwindling mainstream audience. And you have Need for Speed, which has been around a lot longer, has a much steadier mainstream audience, and needs a major boost in quality. Bam! Consolidation time. Criterion gets put in charge of the next big Need for Speed game, Burnout, well, burns out, and now you've got one tentpole racing franchise instead of two, one with a lot more mainstream appeal. The Need for Speed game in question, which came out in 2010, is a revival of the Hot Pursuit series, which has been around since 1998, and that's actually a damn good game in its own right. However, when you realize, as I am currently doing while writing this video, that Hot Pursuit is living a half-life in the shadow of the entire Burnout franchise, it might sour my experience when I inevitably revisit that game. I really see this as a tragedy because Burnout Paradise could have led to a whole new era for the franchise. They got the game feel of classic Burnout exactly right, and with a few more iterations and some design tweaks, it could have been something spectacular. Imagine something with the scope of a game like The Crew, but with the physics and distinctive style of Burnout Paradise. It could have been something really cool. To be fair though, the Burnout franchise isn't completely dead. A couple of former devs for Criterion and EA broke off in 2014 to form Three Fields Entertainment, an indie developer responsible for games like Dangerous Golf, and a spiritual successor to Burnout's original Crash mode called Danger Zone. I was very much looking forward to the idea of a Burnout spiritual successor and was a bit disappointed when it turned out to just be one for the Crash mode, and I was doubly disappointed when Criterion's next extreme sports racing game got canned, but from my perspective, there is still hope. The Need for Speed franchise has become a bloated, microtransaction-fueled mess. Criterion is likely soon for the chopping block that befell Visceral Games, and the Burnout license is fluttering away in the wind. But the hope for a true spiritual successor to Burnout 3 still lies with a developer like Three Fields. Maybe it's not them, but hey, we know they know how to do it, so let them know you want them to do it. So what do you guys think about Burnout Paradise? Do you think the franchise went on a high note with this game? Do you think it died with a whimper? Do you think it had any potential left in it whatsoever at this point? Or do you think EA made the right move by combining this and Need for Speed into one giant racing game franchise? Let me know what you think. I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments below. As always, I've been the Mighty Mander. Don't worry, I'm not going to blow the world up today. Just going to take it easy, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace out, my friends. Hey everyone, thank you very much for watching this video on Burnout Paradise. Let me know what you think about the game and the future of the Burnout series in the comments below. I know I said before that I scripted and recorded this video before the Paradise remaster was announced and released, so let me know how you think that changes the projected outlook for the Burnout franchise, or if I'm just talking a bunch of nonsense. In any case, I'd love to hear your thoughts. Hey, if you're already subscribed, that's great. If you're not, if you could click the button, that would be great. And also, if you want to make sure that you see these videos when they're released, go ahead and click that bell. It is probably the single most helpful thing you can do to help out a YouTube channel. Also, I know I said some things about Danger Zone, that game that's kind of like a spiritual successor to the Crash mode in this video. I played it, would hesitate to recommend. So do with that information what you will. In any case, let me know what you thought of this video in the comments below. I've been TheMightyMander. I'll see you guys next time. Peace out, my friends. It's been real. Look at me today. How you guys doing? You having a good day? I'm having a good day. I'm wearing my NES shirt. Got my NES pants on. I've never owned an NES. I've never played an NES game. I'm such a fucking poser. Anyways, hope you guys have a fantastic day. Fucking goddamn son of a bitch.